Hey everyone, my name's Scruffy. Welcome to the channel where I give you the lowdown on all things Cornucopias. Now, if you're new to the project or you don't know what Cornucopias is, it's an MMORPG blockchain game being developed on Cardano. If you haven't already, make sure and check out some of my previous videos. Also, another great source is the Cornucopias official YouTube channel, as well as their website. And if you like what you see, feel free to hop in the Discord server. Say hi, tell them Scruffy sent you, and they'll treat you just fine. Today, wanted to talk a little bit about the developer update that Matt just recently posted. We're going to give you the ins and outs, and make sure you stick around till the end of the video, because there are a couple of little breadcrumbs that you may have heard him talk about, but you may have missed in the video. All right, let's go ahead and get right to it, shall we? Now, today I'm just going to touch on the high points. We're not going to go through every single thing in this update. However, if you want to read the whole thing start to finish, make sure and download the PDF. You can find that in the official Cornucopias server under the major announcements channel. So the first thing that catches my eye is the desktop launcher. If you look at all of the subcategories, every single thing has been marked complete except for basic asset querying, meaning they should be extremely close to this pivotal piece of getting testing out to the general public. Next on the list, we've got the main menu. As you can see, they've been testing graphic settings, updating the interface. They've been working on some character selection, also the role system, and the player avatar system examples. And as you can see here, they did share a little bit of this with us in a recent Copy Cafe episode. And I have to say, it is looking beautiful. Love it. Now, just something to point out, at the top navigation, we've got the character selection area where Rob goes through selecting some different characters. Next, we've got a quests tab where presumably you'll be able to track your daily, possibly monthly, yearly, annually, lifetime quests, as well as the main game quest that goes along with the lore. Next, you've got your inventory, and I would guess that's like your in-game inventory, all of your supplies, maybe things you've hunted or gathered or mined and things like that. However, it could also include your vehicle inventory, and in fact, maybe upon the launch of the racing game, it will do just that. Now, we do see the wallet over to the right, and maybe that's how you manage all of your actual NFT inventory. So it'll be interesting to see how they divide those up. Is the wallet more just for, that's how you connect and then you manage everything through the inventory? Or do you manage everything that's an NFT in the wallet? Yet to be determined, but in the middle of those two, we have got the store. Super exciting to see that maybe in the future, we won't have to go to a third-party site to be able to buy and sell NFTs. They've mentioned this in the past, and that should be A, a convenience issue, and B, hopefully get a lot more eyeballs onto it moving forward as the game grows. And then when you're ready to be done, obviously, there is a quit option in the far top right-hand corner. A couple other things to touch on is the left side, bottom left-hand corner. First of all, we can see this is early access version 0.1. It's not even like 1.0. This is very early access. It's like a pre-alpha type build, I would guess, of the Toledo Valley Raceway area only. And just below that, we see that they have Find Friends and Friends Online. So it'll be very interesting to see. Obviously, they've got a search feature there where you can search for your various friends, and perhaps the friends that you already have that you're friends with in the game. Perhaps that is going to show either some sort of list or maybe even someday a map of some sort that would help pinpoint some or all of your friends. Next, you've got the classic settings tab, which is obviously good to know that we will probably go there to change our graphic settings, our audio settings, our game settings, privacy settings, and the like. And as we move over to the right-hand side, we've got a little breakdown. Your player name appearing towards the top. Then you've got what looks to be gold corn, 2,300. I have no idea if that's a lot or not, but I do know level 128. That is some significant gameplay right there, and 10,489 XP. So again, all of this stuff could change, but as of right now, this is what we got to work with. Then we get to the vehicle pipeline. And if you'll notice, under vehicle racing classes, they have listed E, D, C, B, A, S, and X. Now the X is brand spanking new. Previously, they had an F class, but it looks like they may have changed that to an X class. And just looking in the tier list, it looks like that may be above an S class. And as we move on, we can see the very first new listing is a 2023 vehicle called the GTI Jester X-Class showroom model. Now, that to me, the fact that it's X-Class and the fact that it's a showroom model means that it may be a very, very limited NFT. No word yet on whether or not you'll be able to mint it, or if maybe you have to accomplish something, maybe some sort of racing quest, or maybe you have to win some sort of racing cup. But my spidey sense is tingling a little bit, makes me think this one's going to be a little harder to get than some of the others. We've also got the 2023 Core Dynamics Epoch or Epic 4. That is a Class B model. Moving on, the 2023 Valkyrie Firehawk. That one just sounds evil, nasty, just like dirty, like, speed. It is a Class B as well. But very interested to see what that one looks like. Then you've got the Bubblejet Cruiser, which is also a B class. The Atmos Skyrunner, which we have seen before in previous Copy leaks. That one's going to be an E class. It's, I believe, generally thought of more as a transport vehicle, but I found it very interesting that they gave it a racing class, meaning I think there's a good chance we get to actually race the big tanker ones. So that should be a lot of fun. I know I've talked to a couple of people in the Discord that are looking forward to that. And then we've got two more vehicles at the bottom from a new manufacturer. It says Core Dynamics Public Transport, also Core Dynamics World Breaker. Now, I'm pretty sure this Core Dynamics Public Transport is the one we've seen in recent Copy Cafe episodes and DevLeak videos. The Core Dynamics World Breaker, I'm not sure if we've seen that one or not, but it appears that because they say class not applicable, that these will not be raceable vehicles. Moving on to the next page, we come to the Megadome Pipeline, Toledo Valley Raceway. And the ones that I've got highlighted here are Track 1, Track 2, Track 3. Why do I have those highlighted? Well, Track 1 and 2 are showing as complete, and Track 3 is showing as in final production. So I would guess that at least for testing, we're going to get 2 tracks. And upon the official public release of the racing, my guess, again, don't have any insider information on this one. However, I would guess that we're going to have all 3 of those tracks ready. Now, another one I've highlighted on here is the Bubblejet dealership. We did see a very nice little walk around in a recent Copy Cafe episode, as well as the Valley Raceworks dealership. Both of these look incredibly gorgeous. I cannot wait to go in there and probably spend even more money. You see them on the showroom floor and it's just different, right? It's like, okay, yeah, no, I like that color. I got to have mine in that color. I wonder if they're going to have test drives. As we move down the list, you got the Burger Barn. That one is in final production. More on that coming up just a little bit later in the video. And then we move over to a whole slew of new listings. The GTI dealership. Now, this one's not really a big surprise because as previously mentioned, we had the Bubble Jet dealership as well as the Valley Raceworks dealership. So it makes sense that they'd have a GTI dealership. However, the next one on the list, the observation tower, was a surprise to me. I didn't even hear a whisper about it until we saw it on Copy Cafe episode 52. And man, was I blown away. Look at this amazing footage. I mean, from the outside view to being able to ride it all the way down to the clouds, to looking out, and we were only on like the part that's underneath the dome. I can't even imagine on top and you can look out over the dome. So incredible graphics, everything custom made, everything looks amazing. They were even able to turn it to magic hour. Oh, just absolutely gorgeous. Look, I'm going to say it right here, right now, kids. Cornucopias is the best looking game I have seen, bar none, whether blockchain, major studio, whatever. This is a legit AAA game. Also listed on new here is Copy Cafe. We have seen signage for Copy Cafe. However, I don't believe we have yet to see the actual building Copy Cafe inside the Toledo Valley Raceway Megadome. Also, Rob pointed out the Toledo Security Station. Here's a nice little flyover where you can see a previous Copy leak cop car. Super cool cop car. I always kind of wanted to be able to own one of those, but who knows? Perhaps I'll get a chance to do a ride along. Or perhaps I'll find myself in the back seat of one someday. Another thing that I had not anticipated was the Skyway home dock. And you can see some footage here also of Rob and Josh and some of the devs tooling around in the new Toledo Valley Raceway. I thought this was an extremely creative way to get people from A to B, right? So you've got the monorail system that gives you further distance. But if you just need to go a little bit and maybe you don't want to run, this gives you a nice little aerial view also of some of the rest of the park. Look, I say park like it's an amusement park. It kind of does. It looks like a Disneyland or a Magic Mountain or a Six Flags or one of those. Then we've got Club Rise. We didn't get to see the inside of this just yet. They briefly went by the outside here, but super interested to see what that looks like on the inside. Might get a chance to see that in a very near future Copy Cafe episode. Now, these next few we have not seen yet, and it makes sense as they're listed in early production. Rise Restaurante, Toledo Ambassador Center and OG Lounge, Bubble Bar, Moonshot Energy Kiosk, also Cornucopias Labs. Now, we have seen the outside of it from a distance, from afar, but I have a sneaking suspicion there is a whole lot more to this, as they have talked about possibly testing new features of the game inside the Cornucopias Labs. VIP parking, okay, that's nice, and we'll see. I'm sure it's a little bit closer, give you a little bit more access. Not sure if that's going to be an OG thing or how you get the VIP parking, but Toledo Metro stops, we have seen several of those, as that is the transit system to get around Cornucopias that they initially showed us in episode 50 of Copy Cafe. Now, before I move on, if you found anything in this video informative or entertaining, interesting, provocative, go ahead and click that like button. It really helps out the channel. Also, if you want to be notified when I come out with new videos, go ahead and click on the subscribe button and turn on those notifications. One of the most interesting things I thought in this entire document was Solace Sector 2 concept. The reason being is, in Copy Cafe 50, we got a chance to see a hologram of Solace. And as they were walking through, they mentioned that it was Solace 1. Now, they just said 1. They didn't say Sector 1. They just said Solace 1. So for the longest time, the last 2 or 3 weeks, some of us have been speculating. Does that mean that it's a sector, or is it a district? I assumed it meant sector. It looked way too big to be a district. So it looks like we do have confirmation that The initial hologram that we saw, that is one sector in Solace, and it looks like Solace Sector 2 is in the concept phases. Sky System. Why did I have this one on the list? Well, mainly so I could show this beautiful video footage of it. Just another excuse to get some eye candy. It is also listed in final production and makes sense considering what we saw here. The updated cloud system, the moon and the stars, we saw both of those. However, something we haven't seen yet, but I'm super excited to check out, is the Aurora Borealis. And I believe we have saved the best nugget for the end. That's right. The number one thing that I am excited about is in the development update, they have listed land plot system. Yeah. Yeah, I know you guys have been waiting for that for a long time. Me too. It's just good to know that they haven't forgotten about it. It's been a while since we've heard about the land, but it looks like they are working on the placement of unique land plot sizes for what has been purchased, in addition to the function of building out the land. Whew. I mean, I know they're focused on racing. I know that's their main focus right now, and that's great. Just good to know somebody's working on the land. Those were the things that I felt that you needed to know about in the May developer update. Did I miss something? If so, leave me a comment down below, as well as your thoughts on any of the things we covered in today's video. That about wraps it up. We'll see you next time.